Hello students, we're going to bring together some of the things that you've learned in the past few tutorials with the gradient tool, the paint bucket tool, and drawing and putting two images together. And the first thing we're going to do, of course, as always, is duplicate the layer of the current picture we're using. We're then going to open the second picture that we're going to ghost in, and we're going to duplicate this layer to the other photo. And actually, I'm going to come back over now. So it's going to be a little bit, or appear to be a little bit on top of that. And I'm also going to duplicate that layer once again, which you can either right click or drag down into this extra spot here. So now when I go up to the arrow and the move tool, I'm going to slide each one of these pictures to a corner, because what we're going to do is we're going to blend these pictures in with the background picture using the gradient tool. But before we do that, you can see we have a problem with opacity, and we need to bring that down. So I'm going to click on this top layer first, and I'm going to bring my opacity down to about 50%. And I can either drag that down like so, or I can just type this in and hit enter. Okay, we still have a problem where we can see these great huge lines here, and so this is not blending cleanly. So what we need to do on both of these layers is we need to add a layer mask. And now what we're going to do is click on that white box, that layer mask tool. We're going to go to where the paint bucket is, and that's also where the gradient tool is hidden. And what we're going to do is make sure that up here, what is selected is this very last one, kind of like this dark to light, or to the checker box. And with that gradient tool, or that layer mask being selected, I now want to pull in. And look and see how now I'm dissolving those lines and blending this picture a little bit more. So what I'm doing is I'm lightening just the picture in that particular spot, so it makes it blend in a little better with her face, so that we don't have those harsh, hard lines in there. And this is how people always ask, well, how do I blend two pictures together and make it look, kind of seamless, as opposed to, having to use that lasso tool or bringing that together. Now we need to do this on the other side as well. So I apologize that some of this has to be done in real time here. Spending a little time here, but this is how you can blend two images together, and you can see I'm getting rid of those lines. They're almost invisible at this point, because essentially what I'm doing is I'm erasing, but in a cleaner way rather than just using an eraser tool. I'm erasing away that space there and allowing that image to blend together. So now it looks like I have kind of two ghost images almost on the side, a little blend with her picture centered in the middle. Now I want to add just one more thing. I want to add just a little bit of color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and add a new layer, but I'm going to pull this layer in between, or actually all the way underneath our background copy. And I'm going to turn our background off, which right now does nothing for us. Okay, but you'll see in just a minute how we're going to blend that. I want to use the eyedropper tool to pull the purple from her clothing. So I'm going to click on that purple. And you can see now that purple exists here. Just want to show you it was already sitting there, but as I click on that, it shows me the purple that I wanted to use. I'm going to go back to my gradient tool, change that to paint bucket. Again, I want to make sure that I'm on this new layer that I made, and I put that layer underneath my background copy, turn the eyeball off on my final background, and I've dumped that purple in. Nothing happens at this point, because now we need to go back and change that opacity again. So now I'm going to my background copy, and I'm going to change the opacity so just a little bit of that purple kind of tint comes over the entire picture. And you can choose the desired amount of purple that you want. I'm going to go maybe like 90%, 85%, something like that, just to give it a little bit of a cast there. So now what we've done is we've brought the three things that you've learned this month together. We've combined two images, we've blended them with a gradient, and we've blended a color with the paint bucket tool using the opacity to make it all work together. So please remember to save this, as well as working with some of your own pictures to put this all together for your tutorial this month. Good luck.